ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika. Chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
You are watching us live right here at Ssebutinde Africa. It is a live show right here at Ssebutinde Africa. Thank you for joining us. This is Kato Mukasa, a Ghanaian lawyer interested in issues human rights, and this is, of course, Ssebutinde Africa. In the studio is Baya Hussein, right in Kenya, to do the production for today. I want to encourage you to please subscribe to Ssebutinde Africa, and of course, be part of the team that is interested in promoting human rights, promoting the knowledge, promoting awareness, and reaching up to where you are. We have studios in Uganda, Kenya. We have studios in Zambia, Zimbabwe. We have studios in Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, UK, and the US. Our informative shows are the in thing today. Join us and be able to know what we share. Be able to share with us, be able to be part of us, come in our studios and share with us. In the studio today, we are going to be handling the case in Gaza. This is episode 6. This is episode 6, where we shall be handling the crime in Gaza. We are handling specifically Judge Ssebutinde and the ICJ court ruling on Gaza. Remember that South Africa took Israel to the International Court of Justice in Hague. And South Africa, as a government, claimed, and rightly so, that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. South Africa, the lawyer for South Africa, and of course presented a very impressive account of the events in Gaza. The lawyer showed how over 26,000 people have been killed in Gaza, and 60% of them children below 15 years. The lawyer argued that Gaza has been cordoned off. There is no electricity, there is no hospital that is working, there are no schools working, there are no mosques, there's no food, there's no water. And Israel is bombing Gaza day in and day out. The lawyer argued the case properly. ICJ, the International Court of Justice, has 17 lawyers, call them judges. senior judges, selected, appointed from different countries. Out of the 17 judges, 1 judge was for Israel. Another judge was from Uganda. But out of the 17 judges, 15 judges agreed with most of the issues tabled by South Africa. But there was this one judge, a lady born in 1954 in Kiwafu, Entebbe, Uganda. I'm a Ugandan. This judge, the first female black judge on ICJ court, Julia Ssebutinde, a judge with over 30 years of legal practice, a judge with over 30 years of excellency, a judge who handled cases in Uganda on corruption, a judge who made us very proud of her in Uganda, handled URA cases, police cases, corruption in Uganda, a judge who was spotted by the international community as a credible judge. Julia Ssebutinde, a Christian, a mother, a person with a PhD from Edinburgh, Scotland, a master's degree with distinction from Edinburgh, Scotland, a Makerere University graduate, an LDC graduate. I went to Makerere University, I went to LDC, I'm a lawyer. I'm talking about Julia Ssebutinde, a lawyer, a Ugandan lawyer from Uganda. This lawyer didn't see any merit in the issues raised by South Africa. This lawyer didn't see any merit by South Africans saying, look, there is a genocide in Gaza. Look, there is no food in Gaza. Look, there is no electricity in Gaza. Look, young people, women, children are being massacred in Gaza. A Ugandan judge, Julia Ssebutinde, did not see any merit whatsoever in any of the grounds raised by South Africa. As a lawyer, I was surprised. As a lawyer, I felt very challenged by the reasoning of Judge Julia Ssebutinde, a Ugandan female lady, the first black woman, the first black judge to sit on ICJ. For the first time, betrayed the cause for humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, have a look at how the lead counsel presented issues in The Hague, in the case where South Africa took Israel to court. Have a look at this case.
247 Palestinians are being killed and are at risk of being killed each day, many of them literally blown to pieces. They include 48 mothers each day, 2 every hour, and over 117 children each day, leading UNICEF to call Israel's actions a war on children. On current rates which show no sign of abating, each day, over 3 medics, 2 teachers, more than 1 United Nations employee, and more than 1 journalist will be killed, many while at work or in what appear to be targeted attacks on their family homes or where they are sheltering. The risk of famine will increase each day. Each day, an average of 629 people will be wounded, some multiple times over, as they move from place to place, desperately seeking sanctuary. Each day, over 10 Palestinian children will have 1 or both legs amputated, many without anaesthetic. Each day, on current rates, an average of 3,900 Palestinian homes will be damaged or destroyed. More mass graves will be dug. More cemeteries will be bulldozed and bombed and corpses violently exhumed, denying even the dead any dignity or peace. Each day, ambulances, hospitals and medics will continue to be attacked and killed. The first responders who have spent 3 months without international assistance trying to dig families out of the rubble with their bare hands, will continue to be targeted. On current figures, one will be killed almost every second day, sometimes in attacks launched against those attending the scene to rescue the wounded. Each day, yet more desperate people will be forced to relocate from where they are sheltering, or will be bombed in places where they have been told to evacuate to. Entire multi-generational families will be obliterated, and yet more Palestinian children will become WCNSF, Wounded Child, No Surviving Family, the terrible new acronym born out of Israel's genocidal assault on the Palestinian population in Gaza.
That is a lawyer presenting the case against Israel. You can imagine, a Ugandan judge didn't agree with anything the lawyers representing the people in Gaza said. You can't imagine that Israel had a judge right there. The judge from Israel accepted 2 grounds from those raised by South Africa, from the 6 issues, 6 grounds raised by South Africa. A judge from Israel accepted 2, but a judge from Uganda, my fellow Ugandan, a lawyer with over 30 years of legal practice, legal excellence, rubbished every ground raised to save the people in Gaza. She was the only one among the 17 judges sitting on ICJ court that rubbished everything raised by other lawyers to save the people in Gaza. Which type of judge is this that cannot actually even allow humanitarian aid to go to Gaza? Which type of judge is Ssebutinde that cannot even allow the war, the bombing to stop? She said she was seeing no merit whatsoever. Israel is the signatory to the Genocide Convention of 1948. Israel is a signatory. Israel is mandated to avoid every element of a genocide. Israel is mandated to avoid inciting any person to a genocide. Israel is mandated to safeguard evidence that is already within Gaza to avoid that evidence being destroyed because there's going to be an investigation. Israel is mandated to allow food aid to go to Gaza. How come that a Ugandan judge, Julius Ssebutinde, did not accept any of the grounds to save the people in Gaza? Let's have a look at the Victoria so we can know more about this Ugandan judge. Julius Ssebutinde, a Ugandan judge that ashamed most of the human rights activists in the world. Who is Julius Ssebutinde? The Ugandan judge against all ICJ rulings in the case of Israel. Now, I'll give you this in a minute. Give me that screen. Don't move it. I'll give you this. Julius Ssebutinde was born on the 28th February 1954 in Kwafu village in Tebe. Give me the image of Julius Ssebutinde, please. Let me have a look at the photo of Julius Ssebutinde as I give people who is this lady here. Give me the photo, please. Yes, and more photos slowly. She was born on 28th February 1954 in Kwafu village in Tebe, Uganda. She went to Gaza High School, Makerere University, LODC, Uganda, and therefore qualified as an advocate, just like myself. And of course, she went to Scotland in Edinburgh, where she got her master's degree in law with distinctions. She went ahead to earn a PhD in law from the same university in Scotland, Edinburgh. She became the Vice Chancellor of Mutesa I University, Mutesa I Royal University in Uganda. She is the first African woman to be appointed judge at ICJ. She has worked in Sierra Leone, Namibia, and of course, she has worked internationally on so many human rights cases. She is a mother with 2 children with over 30 years of legal excellency. Now, this judge did not accept the measures that South Africa was calling for. What was South Africa calling for? South Africa wanted the court to say that Israel should take all measures to prevent the genocide. There were 6 measures that South Africa wanted the court to address. Take all measures to prevent a genocide, ensure its military does not commit a genocide, take all measures to punish incitement to genocide, enable urgent needed basic services or humanitarian assistance to go into Gaza. The 5th measure wanted was to prevent any destruction of evidence and of course ensure that there's prevention of evidence destruction. The 6th one, which South Africa wanted, was that Israel shall submit a report on all measures taken to implement orders within 1 month after the ruling. There were 6 issues raised, 6 measures sought by South Africa. This judge refused all of them, including giving food to the people in Gaza, including giving medication to the people in Gaza. You can imagine the ICJ judge, Joan Donok, ruled that ICJ would order provisional measures. And the same judge of the ICJ ruled that, in fact, Israel had acts and omissions that would tantamount within the scope of a genocide convention 1948. Joan Donok, the president of ICJ, even accepted that there are errors and omissions Israel has done to commit a genocide. And therefore, Israel is violating the 1948 Genocide Convention. And Israel must allow humanitarian aid to go into Gaza. You can imagine, even the president of the ICJ court accepted that something was wrong. Yet, all judges, apart from Julius Ssebutinde from Uganda, really knew there was a need to have these measures, including the judge from Israel, accepted that 2 measures should at least be implemented. Yet, the judge from my country, Uganda, embarrassed us as lawyers, as human rights activists, and refused to even accept humanitarian aid to go into Gaza. The question is, why did Judge Julius Ssebutinde not accept to at least give aid to the people in Gaza? Let us look at other images, please. This is a very important court ruling, where even when South Africa never got whatever South Africa wanted, the genocide was not stopped in Gaza. At least the court pronounced itself that aid should be given to Gaza. Food must go. A report to show that Israel is working towards making peace should be filed in the court within 1 month. Remember that the 6 judges, the 15 judges out of the 17 judges all agreed that, in fact, South Africa had a very good case against Israel. We all agree that after that, we need to have peace. The International Court of Justice immediately, on the 6th February, appointed Julius Ssebutinde as a vice president of the International Court of Justice. You can imagine, the International Court of Justice on 6th February 2024, after the ruling where Julius Ssebutinde rubbished every claim for humanitarian consideration raised by South Africa, this very judge was in fact promoted to the level of vice president of this very court. The question is, was Julius Ssebutinde being rewarded for going against the needs of the people in Gaza? Was Julius Ssebutinde being celebrated? Why was she promoted instead? She's now the vice president of the International Court of Justice. Yet, she stood in the way to help the people of Gaza to get their liberty. Back to me, back to me. Thank you so much. She has been congratulated because she has been re-elected. Re-elected. She's serving a second term at the ICJ court, ICJ, International Court of Justice. This is the first African lady to be appointed a judge at this noble court. I was in the Netherlands. I went to The Hague. I know this court. I'm a lawyer personally, but I should tell you, I'm very disappointed by this Ugandan judge who did not even see the merit in allowing humanitarian aid to go to Gaza. And instead, this judge, this Ugandan judge, was promoted to a position of the vice president of the International Court of Justice. It's a shame to all human rights lovers, to all human rights defenders, regardless of this lady being a Ugandan like myself. I do think Julia Ssebutinde is a very disappointing judge when it comes to the defense of human rights. She loses it right there. And that is Julia Ssebutinde, a mother of 2 children, a Ugandan who has served for over 30 years, who has been having a very credible history, a very credible work ethic. She goes to court and she says she has not seen any merit in the claims of South Africa that there's a genocide going on in Gaza. People need food, people need shelter, people need medication. There should be a ceasefire so that people are not bombed day and night. 26,000 people have died in Gaza, and the Ugandan judge cannot see that it's important to have peace in Gaza. She's a Christian. In fact, she was celebrated by the Christian media in Uganda. She was applauded by the Christian media in Uganda. The question is, do Christians support Israel because they think Jesus Christ is from Israel? Therefore, they think they cannot do anything against Israel. Even when Israel is committing murder, committing war crimes, committing a genocide in Gaza, are Christians adamant that they are going to support everything Israel does, as exhibited by our Julia Ssebutinde? This judge is a disappointment. This is Kato Mukasa for Human TV Africa. We hope that this message will be received in the best faith and for the best intentions so that people stop betraying humanity. Thank you so much for watching, and please keep it Human TV Africa. See you in the next one.